Hey, welcome to this episode of Culture Keepers. Remember to like, subscribe, share, all that kind of good stuff. And today we're going to be talking with Theresa, and we're going to talk Theresa's story. So, who are you and why are you here?
I am Theresa Hartwell. I'm an agent here at Performance Real Estate. I very first started here with the company back in 2014. I was an admin for about 5 years.
Pretty much my boss.
Sort of, sort of. Worked my way up into management. Then it was just Mark and I kind of running the company for about 6 months, and I made a decision that I didn't want to sit behind a desk anymore and decided to go out on my own as an agent
Peace out.
rather than admin. And then I floated around the valley for a little while at a few different brokerages, and then got really lost in the sauce of real estate and needed to bring myself back to grounding. And so I came back to performance just this year.
So, what was it cultural wise? Where you were cultural wise? What brought you back and why? I mean, what makes you tick? Because I know you do some other things on the side too. We'll talk about that too. But what makes you tick, and why do you think that you navigated or were pulled back here?
Yeah. I like to be part of a group of people that are working together to bring each other up, bring everybody up, and bring everybody up around you. And I got into some bigger brokerages, which they're great, but I felt lost. And I felt like I was just floating around, even though there was help if I wanted it. I didn't have an office space. I was just at home by myself, sitting in my pajamas every day, not really
doing normal realtor stuff.
Yeah, right. And it wasn't working for me because
Yeah.
I was slowly starting to not be successful anymore. Just because I was by myself, I felt lost.
So I know some things that make you tick culture wise. So you do CrossFit and you teach CrossFit, right? You coach it?
Yep.
So why that? Is that for yourself? Is that for others? What is the culture of that draws you to that?
It's a similar environment. Everybody there is just trying to live their lives and get better, and they bring each other up. I like the camaraderie between everybody in that if there's still one person working out, everybody else is there cheering them on, and they're not just scattered somewhere else and putting their equipment away. They're staying there, they're waiting for these people, they're cheering them on, and that's what I was missing in real estate as well. People around me.
So we talk about the very first episode. I think if you guys remember, we talk about how you can change the culture at your bank, at your church, at your work, at your CrossFit or whatever. You can do those things in a positive or a negative way. So have you ever had a client or a student or whatever you want to call your CrossFit member that you're instructing be a total jerkwad and kind of suck the air out of the room?
Oh yeah.
and when they leave to the rest of them,
Yep.
does it, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we talk about, is why one person can do that. We allow that to happen, and we take on that energy as humans. We do that. So the whole purpose of this Culture Keepers podcast is to give people the power, the knowledge, the education that you can change anything.
Yeah.
You as the instructor can say, hey, put a smile on your face.
Yeah.
You look great today, and put them in a better mood, and maybe it'll change the entire thing. And
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. The culture here that we have, you came back and what is different now than when you were here before that feels as good or better or the same? I mean, is there anything that's going to keep you here or keep you from here?
No, I don't think nothing's going to keep me from here. Yeah. When I came back, it was almost like I'd never left. Everybody just put their arms around me, put me in my spot, made sure I had everything I needed, and they were always there when I needed, if I had questions. Yeah.
And you have just did a training, I think it was this
Yeah.
morning, for all of us that with your knowledge that you've gained with some of the systems we had and instructed some of our very senior agents that they didn't know. So that's fantastic. Just that networking and
Yeah.
the power to share ideas.
Yeah, that's important. And it's important to be around people who are on the same track as you. When when you're like when I was in a bigger brokerage, not everybody's on the same page. And so,
And nor should they be, right?
no,
Because
no,
they
not
got different
everybody's.
things, right?
They're
Yeah.
all independent. They all do their own thing. But that type of environment just didn't work for me. It didn't help me be successful.
Yeah, and so we, when we talked to Mark Martin a little bit, we talked about the different race teams he was on and the different culture, each one very different cultures in both of those, but he loved both of them. So this culture, taught him some grit and some drive, and this one taught him just total caring and stuff like this. And it's kind of the same thing. So when you talk about independence in brokerages, some people want X, Y, and Z. They want to be part-time. They only want to do this a little bit, and it's not the drive that some people need. So
Yeah.
you are, and I've known this since 14. You're one of those people that don't like to stop. You want to just
Yeah.
keep going, and with the support and having something bigger than yourself, which that's a lot of you out there. And if you don't have that right now, I suggest you search for it.
Yeah.
You don't have to quit your job or anything, but you can search for it in different areas, like
Yeah.
a CrossFit or like a church group or a volunteer group or something bigger than yourself, because people typically want that. And I hear that from almost everybody that says, I want to be a part of something bigger than myself, because that's why there's motorcycle groups and veterans groups and gangs, for that matter. It's something bigger than yourself. And so we talk about that a lot as well. And so I'm glad you're back. I think it feels like you haven't left, with the exception of you're not the hammer anymore.
No.
She used to be the one that would drop the hammer and say, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that, make sure you make that call. Hey, by the way, did you remember to do this? And she was on it, on it. So bringing her back as an agent has been great. It's like, she already did it. Oh, she already did it. So it's wonderful for me as a supervising broker, as the, not really your boss, I'm a coworker, but to see you just thrive in this environment and stuff, and blossom and do well. So I'm excited for that. And so tell me a little bit about your the culture of your family businesses, not necessarily the insights of it, but how you've grown through investing and investments and stuff like that, and how the knowledge has brought you to be an even better agent. So the culture of what your parents have taught you has turned over this, and you take the good and the bad, and you practice the good and try not to practice the bad, because every one of us has good and bad in them and stuff. And tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I've worked with my parents for a long time, 20 something years in their investments. They started out with residential, and they really taught me how to be a little bit more empathetic for some people in their situations. My dad has never been somebody to jack the rent up for people just to make a buck. And with his current commercial investments, he keeps those small businesses, their rent low, and he doesn't put them into long-term leases to make sure that they don't feel too uncomfortable if their business fails, because small businesses don't always work out. It's just reality. And so he's taught me to really be a lot more empathetic for other people when they're in tough situations through dealing with tenants, both commercial and residentially.
Isn't that a great culture piece to do? And you guys have the ability to do things like that as well, if you really just think of the big picture and not the small picture of things, right? I think that's fantastic, because I know your dad pretty well too, and he was my landlord.
He was for a little while.
He was my landlord, and boy, that guy works. He's a worker.
Yep. He does all the maintenance at 75 still. He's still going.
Yeah, and we watch him. He owns the building across the street from us. We see him going back and forth. He shovels the sidewalks, for crying out loud. He's 75 years old.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So that's a culture in itself of never quitting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And you've never been one to quit, and I think everybody in this company has been one never to quit, and that is a culture in itself. So if you're around a group of quitters, likely you're going to quit too, because it's very simple, because everyone else is doing it. And humans in general have that pack mentality, if you will, right? That's why you see when the riots start happening, it's usually one instigator that gets them going, and then a couple, and then it just starts getting bigger and bigger, and it's something in our brains that causes us to justify what we're doing, may be right, wrong, or indifferent, but we do that. And so when you're in a culture of people who want to succeed and better themselves, business-wise, personal-wise, spiritual-wise, or any, find the culture that you guys can grow with that and,
Yeah.
and grow with it. And I think that's fantastic. So
When it's like the fruit, right? They show that example a lot of fruit where you've got a bunch of apples and one's starting to go bad, and that, whatever they call it, when it gets soft and bruised, that will slowly start to spread to the other apples.
Yeah.
It's a similar concept with human beings.
it's crazy. Yeah. If you really put that analogy together, like
Yeah.
we're an apple.
Yeah.
Hopefully not a bruised apple.
No,
Yeah.
no. I
No.
mean, here and there I get some bruises, but
Well, what else about you that's you'd want anybody to know that's out there that makes you you? She loves being on camera, by
no,
the way.
I don't.
This is very uncomfortable for her. I love it. I love making Theresa uncomfortable.
yes, you do. I moved from a completely different country. I'm originally from England, and I moved to America at age 14, which is not an easy age.
No.
And I think that really helped me build some resilience and some grit, because I had to start over fresh at 14, which is not easy by any means.
With this weird accent.
With a weird
We
accent.
had the weird accent,
Yeah.
right? Because yeah.
And it was, late 80s, early 90s, which was kind of an awkward time for America, I think.
Did you guys do the math? You figure out how old she is. by the
Yeah,
way?
sorry. Yeah, so it's kind of an awkward time for America. And the only thing I knew about America was network TV. And that was not reality, I discovered.
Yeah.
So that taught me a lot. It taught me to be able to go from one situation to another and learn how to adapt to that and fit in and just continue to go with the flow, rather than coming over here and just being stuck and hiding in my room and not experiencing life.
That opens up a whole nother book that would take a whole nother episode to do, that talks about the culture of another country, how they portray, and it doesn't have to be another country, it could be another city that portrays how they are, and people may believe that, and I think it's so important to find that out yourself. So you might see a company that has a bad rap or something, but you need to find out yourself. Is it someone just talking smack about that company, or is it actually the bad company, right? That is
Or
such a
like
huge
Yellowstone,
thing.
for example,
Yeah.
the TV show.
Yeah.
That is not really what Montana's like.
Well, if it was, I don't know why anyone would ever move to Montana, because if you don't assimilate, we'll just take you to the train station.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about, we'll switch gears a little bit. How has your business changed since you've been since you're back? Yeah. Good, bad, or indifferent, right?
Yeah, no. My confidence back in the industry totally skyrocketed.
Good.
Because I was back around people, full-time agents who were full-time in the office and working with their clients 5 days, 7 days a week, whatever we're working, So my confidence skyrocketed, and now all of a sudden I'm really busy.
Good.
Yeah, and the bad part is trying to keep track of all that.
Yeah.
I got all my to-do sticky notes on the desk and just trying to figure out how to stay organized.
Sure.
But yeah, getting back into an office with full-time agents who are full-time helping their clients, confidence went back up through the roof. I realized, okay, yes, I do know how to do this again, and now I'm busy.
Yeah, I'm confident that you've always had it. You just didn't realize you had it. 'Cause
Yeah,
you've always been.
and because I was just floating around, in larger brokerages and just felt like a number, and I'm not that anymore.
So it's a different culture, right? And again, those
just
big,
a different culture,
those
yeah.
big brokerages are meant for certain individuals, and
Yeah.
that's totally great. I mean,
Yeah.
some people have little ones and they need to work part-time, and
Yeah.
they do this on the side for extra money for their
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that,
No,
right?
it's just a different
It's a
model.
different culture, different
Yeah.
model, and I respect that model, and I just choose not to do that here because of how we've brought this thing up. So I'm so glad you're back. So glad we suckered you into coming on the camera and got you to tell that you're from England. How do you say that? England.
I don't know.
England.
If I go back over
Give me the
there or
accent.
get around my family, I can pick the accent back up again.
So do they sound weird now to you, or do we
No.
still?
You guys still sound
We still
weird.
sound weird. Yeah, when I went to England, I was always the one with the weird accent.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when they come here, we still have the weird accent.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Again, if you guys want to, put any comments in on what you might want to see or hear or grow yourself. You can message me or however that the camera girl knows how to do all that. Maybe she could figure that out on the bottom or something. But like, share, subscribe, things like that. We love talking culture. We love talking people. We love trying to boost people up. That's the culture we want. I want you guys to be able to boost the culture wherever you're at. And again, the culture could be anywhere you're at, and the culture is different at your gym as it is in the bank, right?
Yeah.
And that's okay. But you can always bring a positivity to that. You have the ability to change anybody's day and life and your own. So go for it. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming in. So glad you're back.
Thanks.
Yeah.